So far on this channel, I've done a supercut and I've done a fanfiction reading. Today I will merge the two and read all 5 issues of Tales from West Virginia Hills. I started this series early November, around the same time I started the Vault series, and finished it a week later. Tales from the West Virginia Hills is a pre-war magazine that details stories about various cryptids from West Virginia folklore. The magazines come with accompanying holotapes. Tales from West Virginia Hills are written by Stephen H. Patterson and come in 2 parts. The first setting up an encounter with a monster, and the second covers the encounter before ending on a sinister and vague note. In lore, because these are written pre-war, the stories are just that, stories. While in 2076 things like the Grafton Monster and Wendigo are confirmed to exist, before then they were just tall tales. I think I'll play out the holotapes, and then maybe provide some commentary between, and tell you where you can find the magazines yourself in Fallout 76. Without further ado, these are the Tales from West Virginia Hills.
Welcome back, dear listeners. It's time once again to put aside all you think you know, all you believe to be true. Time to open your mind to the strange, bizarre, and sometimes terrifying world that exists in the shadows and fringes of our own, where myth, legend, and rumor are made real. Yes, it's time for more thrilling Tales from the West Virginia Hills. It has been said that money is the root of all evil. So, when greed knows no bounds and avarice goes unchecked, what other appetites might take hold? Tonight's gripping tale, Curse of the Wendigo, chews over this very question. We begin at the Corvega Auto Assembly Plant in Huntersville, West Virginia, where plant owner and operator Richard Moore is known for squeezing every ounce of profitability from his workforce.
Excellent. Dick, mind if I have a word?
Sure, Bill, come right in. These productivity reports exceeded my projections. Get ready for another juicy holiday bonus.
Sounds swell, boss. But I was walking the floor, and I noticed that the plutonium containment levels are all looking a bit high.
I ordered that line to be sped up last night by 20%. I think the tolerances can handle it.
Well, I understand wanting to be more efficient, but if those plutonium cells don't cool properly...
Come now. With great risk comes great reward, see?
Still, that's a lot of risk you're taking with the safety of the crew.
They'll be thanking me come bonus time. After all, money puts food on the table.
Warning, containment meltdown. Warning, containment meltdown.
Core containment is rupturing!
We need to get clear. Come on, let's go.
What about the men on the line?
Nothing we can do for those poor sops now. Just hope you and I can make it.
Darling, we're home. Are you up?
Welcome back, Mum. Happy to report your husband is on the mend. His radiation levels are decreasing just as the doctor predicted.
Splendid. Thank you, Godrich.
Godrich, look at my new cap gun. Isn't it swell?
A marvel to behold, Master Jim. By the by, Mum, I do say Mr. Richard certainly seems to have his appetite back. He's eaten twice again since lunch, yet still appears hungry. A very good sign of recovery indeed.
Yes, I suppose that is good news.
That you, dear? Say, did you buy more steaks?
As I was saying, Mum, he's eaten up every last steak, meatball, and banger, I'm afraid.
Oh, my. Sorry, darling. I'll go to the butcher tomorrow. Insistent, isn't he?
Yes, Mum. Quite.
Unfortunately for the Moore family, all is not as it seems with their recovering patriarch. Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of Curse of the Wendigo. Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of Curse of the Wendigo. When last we left off, Richard Moore was recovering from radiation exposure. His family had just returned home.
Can I show Dad my gun?
Jimmy, I told you, not in the house. And remember, you can't go into the bedroom yet.
Aw, stupid quarantine.
I know it's hard, sweetheart, but we just have to be patient. This happens to lots of people with important jobs like your father's.
Okay, I won't go in. I'll just say hi. Dad? Dad, did you fall asleep?
Jimmy, that you out there, sport?
Yeah, it's me.
Jimmy, I'm hungry.
Okay, Dad. I'll go tell Godrich to make you something.
No. Why don't you come in, son? Pay your old man a visit.
I'm not supposed to get too close yet, remember?
Now, James, if your father says it's okay, then it's okay. Now, you come in here.
I don't know. You sure?
Positive. You come and give your dad a big hug. Now, Jimmy.
Well, all right. If you say it's okay.
There he is. There's my boy, looking fit as a fiddle.
Dad, what's wrong? You don't look better at all. You've gotten so thin I can see your bones. And you've lost all your hair, too. You look almost like a skeleton.
Oh, so sorry, Jimmy. But Daddy's hungry. So very, very hungry. Come closer, son. Come to Daddy.
What? No, Dad, no!
Was it the radiation, a side effect of the medication, or was it greed that caused this carnivorous transformation? We may never know. Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of Tales from the West Virginia Hills.
So it seems like the accident at the Cervega assembly plant turned Rich ill and made him crave meat. There's some folklore that describes the creation of Wendigos as humans who are on the verge of starvation, giving into their hunger and consuming human flesh. So I'm thinking that radiation turned Richard into the skeleton-like creature, then the attack on his son would maybe further progress his transformation into a proper Wendigo. That's what I think anyway. In Fallout, we know the progenitor Wendigo was the leader of the Gormons before he ate his wife, but it seems like radiation is also part of the Wendigo creation equation. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see if we get more lore about Wendigos in future 76 updates. Let me know what you think. The first tape is found on the front desk of the entrance building of the Uncanny Caverns, and the second will be inside the Uncanny Caverns behind path marker 4. On to the next story.
Our tale begins on a fateful night when a young pioneer scout, Fred Fisher, finds himself in quite the predicament, having taken a spill and fallen into a dark place.
Where am I? Jack? Biff? Mr. Bailey? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Who's there? I can't see you.
Me. My name's Sally. What's yours?
Fred.
Are you okay, Fred?
I think so. My head's a little woozy. Must have hit it when I fell.
Oh, no. Did you get lost, too?
Well, sort of. What I mean is that I was camping with my scout troop by the lake near Flatwoods. There were these lights kind of dancing in the sky.
Neat.
I guess. Anyway, we heard some weird noises, and the guy's double dog dared me to go look, so I did.
All by yourself? You're really brave.
Shucks. Thanks. I followed the noises to an entrance of an old mine. It smelled awful there, like rotten eggs, but worse. Suddenly, there was this bright light shining down on me. I was super scared and ran to the mine to hide, but everything felt strange. Like, my feet weren't even touching the ground. Everything went black, and I woke up here in the dark.
That all happened to me, too. We'll just do what my dad says. When you've strayed or lost your foot, do what's best and stay put. They said they'd bring him soon.
There are other people here?
A very good question indeed. Tune in next time to find out the answer in the chilling conclusion of Who Goes There? The Strange Encounter in Flat Woods. Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of Who Goes There? The Strange Encounter in Flat Woods. In the last episode, Pioneer Scout Fred Fisher met a curious girl named Sally while hiding in the dark. But, as it turned out, they weren't alone.
There are other people here?
Yeah, they probably just went to get more food. They'll be back soon enough. You can wait with me, and they'll give you food too. You just have to do what they want.
What do you mean?
When they want to play games with you.
Games? What kind of games?
I'm still learning the rules. Mostly, they're kind of boring and only hurt when they use the needles.
Needles?
Yeah, you know, like at the doctor.
This doesn't sound like any game I know. It sounds downright awful, and these people sound really bad. We have to get out of here.
No, stay put, stay put, stay put, stay put.
Okay, stop screaming. The light, it's so bright.
That's where they come in to bring food, or when it's time to play.
Sally, what's that helmet thing you're wearing? It looks like it's screwed into your head.
Time to play. Time to play.
Sally, what's wrong? Why are you acting like that?
Time to play.
I see them now. They aren't human at all.
Time to...
No! Stop! Let me go! Sally, help me!
Okay.
I don't want to play! I don't want to play any games! No!
Fred Fisher was found days later, wandering by the river outside Flatwoods. He was disoriented but unharmed, save for 2 small wounds on each temple. To this day, Fred is convinced his strange encounter was real, and even continues to search high and low for a missing girl named Sally, whom he swears he met. So I leave it to you to decide, dear listeners. Was this simply the wild imagination of a frightened boy lost in the woods? Or was Fred Fisher, in fact, abducted by brainwashing aliens from outer space? Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of Tales from the West Virginia Hills.
I want to talk about this first because it was brought up on my Who Goes There short. I don't think the Sally from Mothership Zeta is the same Sally from the story. While the story could be based in some truth, I'd imagine that if a parent's child goes missing, like Sally from Zeta, they wouldn't want a radio story broadcasting about it. It just seems a little insensitive. Like, imagine losing a loved one, then a few years later it turns into a story made for entertainment. I can understand a documentary or something, but Tales from the West Virginia Hills is just for entertainment. So no, I don't think these Sallys are the same people. It's likely just a reference to Mothership Zeta. Plus, Zeta Sally was abducted shortly after the bombs dropped, and the Tales from the West Virginia Hills are pre-war. It just doesn't add up. Anyway, this story creeps me out. Aliens in general give me the creeps because I fully believe that there is other life out there among the stars. While little green men might not exist, some other form of life is out there doing its thing. Fermi paradox is wild and it makes me uncomfortable knowing about it. For those who don't know about the Fermi paradox, it's essentially asking the question, if the universe is so large with so many potential habitable planets, why haven't we found any signs of extraterrestrial life? It's a neat but also terrifying thing to research and really puts yourself into perspective. You're just a speck in the universe, and I don't know if I like that. Both tapes are found in the Flatwoods. The first part in Flatwoods Tavern, and the second in a mailbox north of Delbert Winter's trailer home. Anyway, next story.
Our tale begins in the rural hills near Grafton, where locals have reported a strange creature lurking in the woods. Robbie Cockrell and Peggy Mansfield were out on a date, celebrating Peggy's birthday. A full moon loomed large as they drove.
Robbie, you're going too fast.
Don't worry, this nuclear roadster handles like a dream.
Where are you taking me anyway?
I told you, it's a birthday surprise.
Way out here in the woods? There's nothing this far out of Grafton, except that hospital by the river. Wait, I bet we're going to that new drive-in over in Clarksburg, right? Just so you can show off your slick new hot rod.
Ah, come on. Don't be like that, Peggy. I just thought the drive-in would be romantic.
Oh, Robbie. Robbie, look out!
Peggy? Are you okay? Peggy?
Yeah. I'm okay, I think.
What happened?
There was a huge boulder in the middle of the road. I tried to warn you, but it was too late.
But look, in the road. There's nothing there.
How could that be? I saw it plain as day in the headlights. And just look at the front end. It smashed right in. I mean, it didn't just get up and walk away. What was that?
Probably just a wolf.
It didn't sound like a wolf to me. There it is again. Whatever it is, it sounds like it's coming this way.
Look, those lights by the river. That must be the hospital. We can get help there. Come on.
Ow! My foot. I think I hurt it in the accident. Look, I'm bleeding!
Everything's going to be okay. Here, lean against me. There you go.
Will our two lovebirds survive such a harrowing ordeal? Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of The Beast of Grafton. Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of The Beast of Grafton. When last we left off, two teenagers, Robbie Cockrell and Peggy Mansfield, were running for their lives after a harrowing car accident, trying to escape a frightening creature stalking them.
See? You're doing great. Just like when we won that three-legged race in the park. We're almost to the hospital.
Oh, no. There it is. I see it. Coming out of the woods.
It's bigger than a bear.
And look, it has no head. It's just flesh and muscle and claws. Robbie, it wasn't a boulder we hit. It was that thing.
It's okay. We're here. We made it. Door's locked. Hello? Anyone in there? Help us!
My, what's going on? Who are you?
Please, doctor. There's been an accident. My girlfriend's injured.
There's something after us. A monster in the woods.
Oh, a monster, you say?
I know. It sounds crazy, but I hit it with my car and...
I see. It's just you two?
Yes, it's just us. Oh, won't you help us, doctor, please?
Of course we'll take care of you, my dear. Do come in. Come in.
See? I told you everything was going to be okay, Peggy. Doctor, are you going to call the police about the thing outside?
Well, all in good time, son. First, let's have a look at the girl's foot. Lie down on this table, dear.
Is it bad, Doctor?
Nothing we can't fix right up. I think a little shot should do the trick.
Ow!
What's that shot for?
I told you. To fix her.
Doctor, my arm's starting to tingle. Is that normal?
Oh, yes. Quite normal.
Ow! It's really burning now.
Hold still, my dear.
Hey, why are you strapping her down like that?
Just following procedure.
In the hallway! It's the monster!
Actually, that's an entirely different subject. She's been much more agreeable than the escaped one you encountered earlier on the road.
These monsters are yours?
Why, of course, though Monster is a gross mischaracterization of the extraordinary advancements in evolution we've achieved here.
My whole body's burning!
Evolution? I don't understand.
Oh, you will, my boy. You both will.
Who are those men with guns? What is this place? Hey, let go of me!
What's happening? I feel so strange.
Robbie?
Tonight's gruesome tale taught us several things. You can't always trust a good Samaritan. Be cautious when driving through the woods near Grafton. And birthday wishes don't always come true. Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of Tales from the West Virginia Hills.
The Beast of Grafton reminds me of Halloween 2's hospital scene, and I don't know why. It's probably just the use of a hospital as a setting. On a similar note, I hate hospitals. I can't stand them. I've broken my arm before, and just having to wait and be ushered everywhere while everything is bright and white is just creepy. Maybe it's from too many horror movies or something, I'm not sure. But evil doctors are messed up. Doctors are the people who are supposed to help no matter what, so it's a messed up premise. Plus, this story is rooted in some in-lore truth. If you've seen my Huntersville experiments short, then you know that the Grafton Monster is created from exposing the forced evolutionary virus into humans. The Grafton Monster was one of 2 stable and successful strains of FEV created hours before the bombs dropped on October 23rd, 2077. All in all, it's a very creepy story. But both holotapes can be found in Grafton. Part 1 is located inside the mayor's building, and Part 2 is inside a voting tent on the south side of town. On to the next.
Not all creatures are of the land. Some stalk the skies. One such boogeyman has been reported for generations by mystified West Virginians. Its name remains the same, but accounts and speculation about its nature vary wildly. Some say man, others say beast, some say devil, others say angel. Tonight's tale, The Mothman Cometh, begins in Morgantown Municipal Hospital. We join young Mary Scarberry's bedside as she wakes, looking a little worse for wear.
Nurse? Nurse Handy? Are you there?
Right here, ma chérie. And how are you feeling? Perhaps another stim pack will help. Oh, is she awake?
There she is.
I heard her voice.
How's my brave little girl?
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. I'm doing okay.
Oh, we've been worried sick. Oh, you gave us such a fright.
Howdy, folks. Awful sorry to disturb you at this hour.
Mary, this is Sheriff Johnson. He just wanted to ask a few questions.
Well, from what I hear, you're downright lucky to be alive, Miss Mary. You kids went through quite an ordeal.
Steve and Buddy, are they okay?
Let's just have a little chat first, Mary. Now, Do you remember how you came to be on the Fayetteville Railroad Bridge yesterday?
Well, going to the bridge was really Buddy's idea.
Come on, Mary. Don't whip out. Every kid's got to do it sometimes.
But, Buddy, you know I'm plumb scared of heights. How far you reckon that drop is, Steve?
My daddy says 1,000 feet. I heard it's 2,000 feet. Plenty of time to say last words and final prayers before you hit the river.
Stop teasing me. I told y'all I'm nervous enough already.
Come on. Quit your stalling. Here, watch me. There's nothing to it.
Buddy, be careful.
Last one across is round egg.
Here goes.
Atta girl. Come on.
Slow down. I gotta take my time.
You're doing swell, Mary.
Oh, no. I don't think I can go any further.
You can't chicken out now. Just put one foot in front of the other. Hey, y'all! Look! Up in the sky! Dang! What is that? It's too big to be a bird. Wait, I know what it is. See how its eyes are glowing red? It's the Mothman!
With a terrible winged creature coming for them, what will happen to these adventurous kids trapped in such a precarious position? Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of The Mothman Cometh. Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of The Mothman Cometh. When last we left off, 3 mischievous kids were crossing a railroad bridge when they were beset on by a terrible beast swooping down from the skies.
It's flying right toward us! Yeah! That was close.
Mary! Get off that bridge! Train coming! The train! Oh, no! Grandpa says that the Mothman's a sign of bad things. I bet that means the train's gonna derail.
Or maybe the bad thing is the train's squashing us like June bugs. What are we gonna do?
We can't jump, and it's too late to run. The train's almost here. Look out! That thing's coming back!
I remember is the Mothman snatching me and Steve just before the train ran us over. Sheriff, I know it sounds crazy, but I reckon it saved my life.
Well, now that's quite a tale, Mary.
You do believe me, don't you? I swear that's how it all happened. Just ask Buddy and Steve. They'll tell you the same story. Go on, ask them.
Mr. and Mrs. Scarberry, could I speak to you outside a moment?
Of course. Sweetheart, we'll be right back. You just get some rest.
Nurse, could you please get her something to eat? Right away, madame. 1 Salisbury steak with extra gravy coming up. We'll have you right as rain in no time, ma chérie.
What do you think, Sheriff? Mary's not one to fib, but that story...
All I know is that she was found unconscious by the river without so much as a scratch.
So then you think she was telling the truth about this? Mothman saving her and those boys?
Well, that's the thing about it, ma'am. Those other boys weren't as lucky as Mary. The grim truth is that both were found dismembered way up in the top of a tree.
On top of a... Oh, you don't think...
What's that sound? It sounds like a...
Mary! The window. It smashed right in.
The nurse is torn to pieces, too!
Right this once. Right this once.
Mary! She's gone. What's happened to my sweet Mary? Do something, Sheriff. Do something.
Yet another chilling reminder, dear listeners, to always watch your back, your left, and your right. Be careful of your step and the ground beneath your feet. But most of all, don't forget to watch the skies above. For you never know what frightful terrors might be lurking overhead. Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of Tales from the West Virginia Hills.
I love the Mothman and I love this story. They set it up as though the Mothman was trying to play hero and saving Mary from a barreling train, but then the twist happens and the sheriff reveals that the Mothman only saved Mary but dismembered the other two. What a twist. I personally love it. It's a tragedy what happened to the boys, but it's just a story and a really well done one at that. And then at the end it turns out that the Mothman wasn't done with Mary after all. I like to think that maybe Mary will become the Moth Queen or something more wholesome. The first tape is located on the front counter of the Mothman Museum, and the second on a TV cabinet in an apartment across from the Point Pleasant bus stop. The next story awaits.
In tonight's thrilling story, Sideshow Snallygaster. The carnival has come to the Tyler County Fairgrounds. Billy Harding and his dad wander past the games and rides, cotton candy in hand, peanut shells and popcorn crunching beneath their feet, as a sideshow barker touts a frightful attraction.
Hurry, hurry, hurry! Come one, come all! Come and see the Snallygaster, the most dreaded creature this side of creation. Once a winged beast hunting the prehistoric skies, the cruel mistress of time has turned its wings into mere appendages, spawning this fearsome six-legged monstrosity. Hurry, hurry, hurry! Step right up and behold the stupendous Snallygaster!
Dad, I want to go see the Snallygaster.
No, hogwash. Sideshows are a swindle, Billy. All just smoke and mirrors.
But he said it has 6 legs.
Trust me, son. When you get inside, all you'll see is a shaved bear with extra legs glued on.
Aw, Dad, please, I'm begging you.
Billy! Billy!
Whoa, slow down there, champ.
Sorry, Mr. Harding.
Hi, Teddy. Were you just in there looking at the Snallygaster? My dad says it's a fake.
I tried, but it cost 5 tickets.
5 tickets? It's gotta be real if it costs that much.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
You know, it was a carny who coined the phrase, "There's a sucker born every minute."
Dad.
Anyway, when I didn't have enough tickets, I tried sneaking in.
You did not.
Did so. Sorry, Mr. H.
It's okay, Teddy. Your secret's safe with me.
Gee, thanks. So, I went around the back, looking for a place to sneak under the tent, and overheard 2 workers say the Snallygaster escaped.
Escaped? You're kidding.
All right. I hate to break it to you, boys, but that's just a publicity stunt to stir up intrigue.
Those men were scared stiff.
What should we do, Dad?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going home. If you two want to stay longer, then so be it.
But what about the Snallygaster?
Like I said, no such thing. Just don't dawdle too long, understand? They're closing soon.
Okay, Dad. You think he's right about it being fake?
I don't know.
Well, the only thing I have enough for is the funhouse. Wanna go?
Same here. Come on, it's this way.
Something is loose at the carnival. But is it a menacing beast or just a cock and bull hoax? Tune in next time for the thrilling conclusion of Sideshow Snallygaster. Tonight, we bring you the final chapter of Sideshow Snallygaster. When last we left off, 2 boys, Billy and Teddy, were headed toward the funhouse, trying to shake off the upsetting rumor that a dangerous beast escaped its cage.
Wow, this funhouse is bonkers. It's the Hall of Mirrors. Get a load of me. My body looks so big and fat in the reflection.
And this mirror makes me look tall and thin.
Whoa. And this one makes you look like you have a tail.
Teddy, that's not your tail. It's the Snallygaster's. Look out! It's coming right at you!
Ah! Its head's stuck in the mirror. Ew! Look at all those eyes on its back.
The Snallygaster is real!
I knew it!
And look over there. Is that a body on the floor?
The Snallygaster must have killed him. Who knows how many other people it's gobbled up in here?
It's breaking loose. Let's scream!
Ah! It got me! Its crumbs wrapped around me! Help me, Dad!
Down, girl! Down!
It's the carnival barker. Help us!
Sit down!
I'm free! I'm free!
That's right, girl. Easy now.
That was a close one.
Thank you so much, mister.
Say, where are your parents, boys?
We're here alone. But don't worry. We'll tell everyone all about this and how you saved our lives.
I was afraid you might say that.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that there's good publicity and there's bad publicity. And I always need to make sure I'm in control of both. A close call like this could be the end of business. And I can't risk that now, can I?
But, mister, we won't tell anyone if you don't want. We swear it, don't we, Teddy?
Cross our hearts and hope to die?
Well, now, I couldn't have said it better myself. Supper time, girl. The next day, the carnival pulled up stakes and moved on to the next town, because the show must go on at any cost. Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of Tales from the West Virginia Hills.
The Sideshow Snallygaster. I dare you to say that 5 times fast. It's a good story. Horror movies and stories that take place at amusement parks or in circuses are very cool. A sense of wonderment is met with a sense of dread, and it's a wonderfully unexpected pairing, like apples and cheese. Don't knock it till you try it. With all this being said, I feel like I've heard a similar story, but I'm not sure where. I guess it's kind of like King Kong, where they planned to use Kong as an attraction, but he ended up escaping and climbing the Empire State Building. I'm sure there are other movies or stories about escaped sideshows and malevolent carnivals. The first part is found on the roof of Watauga Estates in the concession stand near the monorail, and the second is in the concession booth near section B5 at the Watauga Civic Center. As some final closing comments, I think the reason why these stories involve so many kids on the receiving end of evil doings is because the magazines are intended for kids and used to scare kids. Tales from the West Virginia Hills is equivalent to Our World's Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. It's horror for kids. I really like these holotapes, and small things like this are why I love the Fallout universe. These holotapes and magazines could have easily just not been in the game, but someone came up with the idea, wrote the scripts, and recorded them, and then put them in the game for us to find. The best part of exploration games is finding the small gems that writers and developers add to their games. It's immersive and I love it. Be sure to tune in next week for another thrilling chapter of, I don't know, whatever I decide to make, I guess.